lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Angel, you sounded pretty robotic there. Yeah, dude, you're robotic as all get out. Ladies and gentlemen, from high above, as we're sitting in the SRM blimp hanging out over the Willow Springs Raceway, the 9th time the HTL Cup Series powered by Team Conti Setup Shop will be adventuring around this place for 56 laps. Last week, Josh Gaiman derailed the John Hagen train after a fabulous Talladega race that featured a record 39 lead changes. But John Hagen has one trick up his sleeve. He's been able to finish on average in the top 3 here at Willow Springs. Can he parlay that into a win here tonight, or will somebody like Caitlin Height or even Blake Henderson, Dylan McDonald, or Shad Swatsworth be able to derail the train even further? The track conditions are hot, and to talk about it, ladies and gentlemen, is the other Shane, as I am that dog father, Shane Lake. Shane Cochran from SRM here is joining us as well. And Shane, you picked a fine time to join us, buddy. We're road racing.
Yeah, I love it so much. I did a Call Dakota race last night here at Willow Springs today. This is my first time getting to watch this HTL crew. Really excited to see what they can do. This track has almost no barriers. It's going to be slipping and sliding and a lot of off tracks. Just can't wait to get started.
And pushing the ones and twos and giving everybody all the great views. The great Angel Santiago, my friend, the track is hot. It's 96 degrees track temp, 81 out in the air. My friend, it is about to get crazy here tonight.
I'll jump in briefly, and you are right. It is going to be some crazy good racing. I think when Blake jumped in and said, we're going to have some fun watching tonight, I noticed that just from jumping into practice early on and seeing that these drivers are slipping and sliding. So I'll be up here focusing on who's running themselves off track, or at least how many times. And then at least working on that camera angles, and we'll be happy to have both of our Shanes here truly bring to you all of this racing action that we're going to have tonight, because you're right, we're going to have a lot of it.
Yeah, 56 laps here. No barriers, nothing but sand out there. Man, it's going to turn into a beach party by the time this race is over.
Yeah, I think the key to tonight is just going to be keeping all four wheels on the ground. We saw multiple cars up and over the hills, behind pit road, off the track, upside down. It's going to be a tough way to get towed back to pit lane if you get upside down here at Willow Springs.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know about you guys, but I believe they've gridded up and they are about ready to launch off. So let's take a look at the starting lineup and see who is starting where. And sitting on the pole, Rudy Valentine gets the Overshot Pole Award. That's an extra $5 in his pocket. On the outside of him, three-time race winner this season, current points leader, John Hagan. Mark Kissenweather and Tucker Slayer will make up row 2. Caitlin Height and Eli Sasek will make up row 3. Josh Gaiman, the winner from Talladega, is going to be on the inside with the 81 of Josh Susi sitting beside him. And making up the final part of the top 10 in row number 5, Seth Wainsing and Eli Flores. Patrick Oberstadt and Chad Swatsworth will make up row number 6. Lily Sharp, Bailey Thompson will make up row 7. Jonathan Adams, Blake Henderson, the boss himself, make up row number 8. Jeremy Briot, David Schmiel Jr., row number 9. Row number 10, Callie Height and Alfred Denny. Row number 11 is going to be Matthew Boone and Austin Mongold, Ross Baxter and Carmen Sienna, row 12. Stephen Oberstadt, Tyler Ratliff, row 13. Row 14 is Zachary Apperson and David Wright, with Dale Markowski, Richard Ode III, Gary Donaldson making up the final part of this 31-car field. We are locked, loaded, and stacked here tonight for 56 laps. I've driven around this place before in other sims. I know how technical this place can be. This is not one for the faint of heart here tonight.
Yeah, and it's one thing practicing by yourself or having all the cars spread out on track, but when you've got 40 other cars right on your bumper, anything can happen.
Yeah, and with the lights out on top of the pace car, we are going to be going green this time by from the shadows of Silicon Valley in the Warner Brothers studio. Ford versus Ferrari was produced here. Ken Miles, God bless his soul, gave his life for the 67 Fords that ended up winning at Le Mans. There's only one thing left to do, is we're waiting for that pace car to make the turn on to pit road. And that is to wipe the visors. Dave Regal, I'm sure you're going to be proud of that one. I don't know about you guys, but I've got chills coming up. This is my first time actually enjoying a race from here at Willow Springs. I'm used to competing, not being in the booth, so this is a whole new world as the pace car gets ready to get out of the way. It's Valentine. It's Hagan. It's the HTL Cup Series from Willow Springs. And we are green. Valentine gets a great jump. Hagan tries to stay with him. Kissenweather's going to try to get on the inside line, and look at the funnel all the way back through the field. Looks like Valentine's going to be able to clear out a little bit as we're focusing in. It looks like Josh Gaiman's going to be able to pick up a couple of positions early. Back up front, Valentine's going to be trying to get away from John Hagen, but with only a couple of hundred separating these two from qualifying, I don't know how much he's going to be able to hold them off.
Yeah, we heard from the drivers pre-race that those rear tires get slick real fast. At this point in the race, you want to save that tire, keep those temperatures down so you can make a nice long run.
Yeah, with the stages being 10 on lap 10 and lap 25, we've been told that we're going to be lucky to see people go 27 laps on fuel here. So I'm kind of wondering the strategy that you would have around a place like this, because if you're only able to go 27 laps, as we got ourselves the first moment of chaos up here. Oh,
rear tire in the dirt.
Yeah, the 4
Great
car
save.
there. Amazing save by the 4 of Zachary Apperson. But can't be doing that too much. It's going to be really annoying, those tires at the end of this. And with iRacing's new debris model, now you have to wonder how much of that dirt's been kicked up on the track.
It really has changed things here in the last few months on iRacing. I jumped in a Formula 4 race not too long ago, and the gravel was hitting me in the visor of the helmet with that open wheel car. So you can hear the gravel going under the car, going over the car, and around the wheel wells here in these Cup cars.
Yeah, definitely. As we got Hagen putting a couple of wheels on the dirt, getting the car a little bit sideways coming off of these corners. That's the one other big thing about Willow Springs, is it's got more random elevation changes than what you would see at, say, Sears Point or with Watkins Glen or, places like that. This track is just that undulating.
Yeah, looks like we had a car go off there.
Yeah, it's hard to tell who that was. Let's see if the tower picks this one up. I think it was maybe Steven Oberstadt in the 8 that went off.
Looks like
Nope,
it was
it
Jonathan
wasn't.
Adams in the 91.
Yeah, John Adams. He just ended up cooking it going into that corner. The driver out of Raleigh, North Carolina, just cooked it in the final corner and just sent himself wide. Back up front, Valentine's only got about a 0.3 of a second gap on Hagen. So we're able to kind of focus in a little bit more as the boys in the truck have been busy already. The 78 looks like, save that as well. The rear end of these cars are not planted tonight at all. And we're already seeing it early and often. Another great save by the 78 car. But that can't keep happening here.
Yeah,
You're
you gotta
gonna end up
wonder. Oh, sorry, Shane. I was just gonna say, when you jump out of qualifying, you probably have a lot more rear brake in it with the cold tires. And now that you're in the race and they're getting hot, as we see a car going around right now.
Oh, that's Hagen. Hagen went off. The points leader has gone flying.
Man, what a time to jump on there. Jump on board with him, and you immediately see exactly what you guys were talking about. That couldn't have been at perfect timing. Of the moment he got too hard on the brakes, you saw just his steering wheel going left and right, trying to keep it together. But yeah, these things, even 4 laps in, they are really not having fun of these rear tires. You really got to save them, as Cochran was mentioning here.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is you're fighting wheel hop with these cars. It's more prevalent at a place like this than it would be, like I said, at like Watkins Glen or Sonoma, because of the way the track keeps, the elevation changes keep happening. And again, Hagen just gets on it way too hard, and he just loses the back end.
Yeah, so far it seems like every incident has been a single car spin. Later in the race, when people are fighting, we might see a little more 2 and 3 car accidents.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see somebody get kind of cleaned up in somebody else's mess. But what that does is gives Valentine a bit of breathing room, as now he picks up about a 1.5 second lead on Sailor in the 95 in P2. How important is it for somebody like Valentine to have the lead right now and just be able to set his own pace?
It certainly pays off for this first stage, but you know, it's great to be the leader, but when you come down to a stage break at a road course, you're going to see guys in the back have opportunities to undercut the stage and try to come out in the lead in the second stage, and be curious to see if he lets them do that and stays out, or if he comes in before the stage end as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're already halfway through the first stage here. It's going to be lap 10, stage break happens. But right now, Valentine has set sail on this field. He's backed his pace down a little bit from where he was in qualifying. I mean, it's not much of a difference, but, 0.4 of a second is enough to kind of save a little bit in race trim around here, as we got Kissing Weather going way wide.
Oh, I thought he was going to get into that ridge over there, but he was able to drift it back onto the track, and
You
there's
got
somebody else up behind him.
there. That let's take a look and see who that was that went off.
That was Bailey Thompson here, the number 27 WeatherTech Mustang.
Oh, he must have been thinking this was Riverside and dirt tracking it a little bit. That ain't gonna work here.
I was reading up on the history of Willow Springs, and apparently when they first made this layout, it was an oil-covered dirt track. And the only thing I can think that would have less grip than the track they're driving on tonight is if it was an oil-covered dirt track.
Man, that'd be better suited for the off-road trucks than these things.
What was the viscosity of the oil used?
I have to check with the historians on that one.
let me make a couple of tweets. I know a couple of people that might be able to help us on that one.
We might have a lot of angry environmentalists though after this, so we might want to bring this one back up.
Yeah, no, let's bury that one while we get the chance. And it seems like Sailor's starting to eat into that gap a little bit on Valentine, as we got somebody else off there. The 9 goes off wide.
And another one behind them.
Oh, who was that right there? Yeah, that's Lily Sharp. Oh, the 27 just pounded the wall.
Yeah, Bailey learned the second time around it wasn't going to work the same way it did the last time. And that one was a hard hit for Bailey.
Oh, that looked like it hurt. That car is probably going to be in a lot of trouble. As we've got 2 cars already sitting on pit road, Richard Ode III and Tyler Ratliff. I think they're just sitting there after early on because, yeah. But that 27 took a lick. But back up front, Valentine's now looking up in his mirror, and he's seeing that the black front end of that 95 car closing up ever so slightly, as we've only got a couple laps left here in the first stage.
Yeah, sure. Seems like that gap is getting smaller than it was when we first were talking about Valentine at the front.
Yeah, it looks like he's also pushing that car a little bit more, because he's getting that car just a little bit wider, and he's just starting to run a slightly wider line, especially off that last corner. We go on board the Team Conti number 1, staring back at Sailor. We were warned that this guy was going to be a road ringer. And he's definitely showing it early, after winning twice in his career here at HTL. He's starting to put a beat down on this field early after taking the pole and so far leading every lap.
Yeah, the beat down doesn't typically answer it perfectly. I don't mean to interrupt, but I've raced personally against Rudy a couple different times, and oh my goodness, he's bad fast at his road courses for sure. To see a driver like Tucker Sawyer on his bumper trying to make something happen. And I remember the days that Caitlin Height was beating our butt so bad where she was 5 seconds ahead of us, and now she's 3 seconds off of the lead. So in my 50-plus starts, as Blake mentioned here previous, I gotta say that this level of competition, this first couple of guys, and remember John Hagan would be included in this. He just got loose, and a couple other guys as well. This is a great group of very fast drivers.
Yeah, definitely. And we know Hagan's got a fast car. Again, his average finish on the road courses here at HTL has been just over third. So he knows how to get around these road courses better than anybody. We're on board with Tucker Saylor from Longview, Texas. This kid's really hanging in there. And yes, I say kid, he's only 18. But he knows what he's doing right now, just studying what the one car is doing right now.
So I guess HTL's Connor Zilish right now, an 18-year-old coming in here and showing these guys up because he's, again, you can tell very fast. He's making great time, and it looks like he's done a great job of saving his tires. This is a good handling race car this late into the run, it feels like, compared to a lot of others.
Yeah, and the one thing I noticed with this version of Willow Springs, there isn't a whole lot of curb that you can use in these corners. How mentally different is that compared to like Sonoma, where you can actually bounce it up off the curb, or Watkins Glen, where you can basically jump the curb going through the bus stop? How mentally different is it knowing that you really don't have that much extra room to work with when you're entering the corner?
I don't know, man. I'll be honest with you. I haven't raced at Willow Springs. I was going to do some practice earlier. I got on track. I saw it, and I said, I'm broadcasting tonight. I'm not racing. What do I want to give myself a headache? It was just, the first couple turns, I said, yeah, I'm broadcasting. I'm not racing. Let me not do this to myself, because this is difficult for sure.
Yeah, I think we've seen it all night as guys have been putting tires into the dirt turn after turn, because without a curb there to kind of give you that feedback, you don't really know where that edge is over the edge of the fender there.
Yeah, and what little curb there is actually raised up, almost like what you would see at Martinsville. So, in a way, you're trying to find that edge, but you also don't want to bounce the tire off of it because you risk damaging the suspension. As we're getting ready to complete lap number 10, the stage caution should be coming out this time by.
Blake said he'll get it right this time around. So Rudy Valentine, he'll go ahead and he'll win this stage.
There it is.
Yeah, they'll sometimes try to, as long as there's not a battle going on throughout some of the other positions for the top 10, they will try to throw it right before the leader gets there, because then that helps with the caution and how long they're stuck under caution for some of these drivers, because it's a 2.5-mile road course here. It hasn't been changed in 73 years, as you see there, but which is incredible for a configuration of any sort not to change in 73 years.
Yeah, that's wild.
The oldest continuously raced road course in the country.
Yeah, I mean, it holds open wheel events. It holds SCCA events. Again, as we all know, Ford versus Ferrari was filmed here. So this place knows road racing unlike anything else out there. I mean, even the likes of Sebring, for crying out loud. So
I just drove by Sebring last week. We're actually going to go ahead and take advantage while these drivers finish up this lap, getting kind of bunched back together before they're going to come down pit lane, and have our first commercial break of the evening. It'll be very brief. We'll be right back, everybody. Don't you worry. We're still side by side with you.
You guys haven't missed anything. They're getting ready to come up, I believe, on pit stops as we're getting ready to extend this lap out. First stage break has been started with, let me get the tower up here to make sure we get all the scoring right. Rudy Valentine ends up picking up the stage win. Tucker Saylor, Caitlin Height, Josh Shusi, and Eli Sasek will be your top 5. With Josh Gaiman, Elias Flores, John Hagan rebounding after his spin, Seth Wansing and Shad Swatsworth will be the top 10. And we've got ourselves a little bit of split strategy. Valentine ends up coming down pit road, while it seems like most everybody behind him in the top 10 stayed out.
Yeah, refresh my memory here. You said it was a 27 lap fuel window?
Give or take from what I was hearing in the garage, yeah.
All right. When's that stage 2 caution coming?
25.
25.
I think all you're doing here is essentially setting yourself up for the final stage because, yes, I would have to imagine that you can probably make it to the end. But we also heard that it's gonna be close. You could maybe even run out at that 27 lap mark. So you gotta be careful. But also, man, if you're not feeling it, come down, get some 4 Fresh Fuel Goods, get some repairs done if you need to, and go back out there. You may have probably already overheated the tires at one point. So yeah, I'd come in and get some Fuel Goods.
Yeah, definitely, especially with all the dust and dirt that's been kicked up. It'd be helpful to have a set of fresh stickers sitting on there instead of the ones that are warm, because I think the last thing you want to do is be picking up all that junk going into turn 1 on a restart.
Yeah, no, you don't want any of that junk whatsoever. We're going to go ahead and bring in our stage 1 winner here in Rudy Valentine, so take it away.
Hey, Rudy, it's the Shanes and Angel up in the booth. You got a copy?
Copy.
Well, you sat on pole. You ended up leading the first 10 laps. How's that old hot rod feeling to you tonight?
It feels all right. A little on the sideways side, but feels all right once you get into a rhythm.
Yeah, it seems to be the biggest story is keeping the back end underneath you. You're going to have yourself a bit of a dogfight here in stage 2. You got any plans for it?
Well, I didn't put much fuel in. I got a set of tires, put in about 2 gallons, so I'm setting myself up for the next one. So no tires, I'll have less time on fuel than everybody. So hopefully that'll give me some spots.
Well, man, you've won on the road courses twice here in HTL. You've been looking strong early tonight. Go get it done, and we'll talk to you on the other side, my man.
All right, thank you.
That brings up an interesting point of only taking on a few gallons of fuel. He's literally planning to come in again at the end of stage 2. So this is, again, that's the one thing about road course racing that always mystifies me, is the strategy that goes into it.
I think you said it great. I'm sorry, Cochran, again, but I only say this because my fiance yesterday when we were watching the Dakota race, she said it. She's like, I'm loving this race. She's like, but that's the one thing that I'm still struggling with on some of these road courses is that the strategies is just, they vary so much. It's so hard to keep up with. I'm like, yeah, you're still only a couple seasons into learning, this NASCAR stuff. So it does take time, really. Yeah, the strategies can really, really throw you off, and well, they make it fun for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how much new tires give you. We've got 19 cars that stayed out on track. Everyone behind them came in and got some tires and probably some fuel. And is 2 seconds of fuel in the next stage going to be enough to get him back to the front? I'm not sure. I think that's the question everyone should be watching here in stage 2, because he's the one, doing the experiment, but everybody can pay attention and learn from it for strategy later today.
Yeah, that's the big thing is when you get cars as strong as Rudy in the 1 making moves like that, you're obviously taking notes, because you're going to see in your drop down. Yeah, he's starting 19th. how long before he gets back up to, you know, inside the top 10, inside the top 5. Because this stage is only going to be, the stage is only going to be about 10 laps, so. Whose bright idea was it to put a camera this low on the pavement?
Must have been one of those GoPro executives.
No, it's a whale of a place to put it.
Reminds me of the time that I was in a race in Gen Cards, and GoPro caught my buddy's caliper coming off and hitting my helmet in there.
Well, that's a view for YouTube later.
Yeah, so as a newbie here to HTL, I've been trying to do as much research as I can in real time to figure out who are the, you know, people to watch here. We talked about Rudy. I pulled up some stats. He's got 22 official iRacing road course wins. Take a look at the 95. Tucker, he's got one more, 23. But behind them in that 3 car, Caitlin Height has more than both of them combined. So I think she might be the one to pay attention to here in stage 2.
Yeah, Caitlin's one of the only ones with multiple wins here at Willow Springs, and she's been known to get the job done. She also won the Daytona 500 earlier this year, so Caitlin knows her way around both the super speedways and the road courses. So once it doesn't surprise me to see her up here, but as the pace car is getting ready to make that gentle left-hand turn this time, it's going to be Sailor and Height sitting on the front row, bringing everybody back to the green flag. Barney's going to be looking them over. And at least this time, Barney, you don't need to worry about putting lidocaine on your elbow, because you only got to be doing this a couple more times, my friend. Green flag's going to be back out here at Willow Springs. As it looks like Caitlin's going to be drag racing in 95 down into turn 1. Not giving any quarrel right now, trying to stick to Sailor, but it doesn't pay off. And look at Susie in the 81 trying to stick it to the outside. Looks like Susie was unable to get the job done, but he's going to be knocking on that bumper right there, trying to tell Caitlin, hey, I'm back here. You better get moving quick.
Yeah, we saw everyone being really courteous and polite in stage 1, but not so much so far here in stage 2.
Yeah, the restarts are going to be one you make the hay while the sun shines. As we already got one sitting way up at the top of the hill sideways.
That'd be Alpha Denny. They hit the number 21 that was up there sideways. We got a
27. I think it was the 27. I was watching that as we were cutting back.
Oh,
he caught the curb and turned that thing dead sideways.
He's not having a good night, Bailey. I feel you.
Yeah, some people are able to adapt to this, and some people are, well, they find the twists and turns of the WWE a lot easier to understand.
Looks like Rudy's already up 6 positions in that first lap.
Yeah, as we see a lock up there on the 24. We've got Kissenweather looking like he's trying to make moves on the outside. This is one guy that you really can't sleep on. Is Kissenweather in the 12. He was good at Road America earlier this year. I think Angel, you and I did that race. I think he finished 3rd. So I think he would actually have a relatively good shot at this, you know, if he's able to bust out of traffic. I mean, he's sitting 2nd in points, so he needs to be able to have another good points day here. And a lot of people discredit road courses, and that's the reason you're able to make up so many points, is because of how many people just kind of shrug it off and be like, well, if I come out of here in one piece, I'll be happy. Those who are running for a championship are able to say, these are going to be my points days, as we see a couple of cars getting dead sideways coming off of that corner.
Yeah, looking back at those Road America results, not only did he finish third there, but he did it after starting 26th.
Yeah, the 29 gets a little bit sideways there in the corner. Great looking save. Oh, right up until it catches the 27.
Sorry, Austin,
just
but
can't-
if you're gonna have a Denny Hamlin paint scheme, I want to put this one up for you.
Oh, the 27's just been having a rough one of it tonight. That may have really damaged that Mustang for Bailey Thompson. As we go back up front, Tucker is still sitting out to about an 0.8 of a second lead on Caitlin. So it seems like they've both kind of settled into a groove as we see the one car there, Rudy Valentine, picking up another position. Those four field goods are mowing the field down. He's just outside the top 10, currently sitting 12th. It would not surprise me if he's able to pick up another few positions here. He's trying to get to the inside of the 18, gets a couple of wheels off in the dirt, trying to establish that position to outbrake the 18 and gets it done. Those four tires are going to be beneficial big time here tonight. This was the literal test for everybody, is how important our tires going to be. You're looking at it.
Yeah, it sure seems to be paying off coming up through the traffic here. Not quite as fast as our leader, but our leader has open, clean air. It's just not the same.
Yes, look at the amount of steering required here. I know we're not gonna get a view of the actual track, but just look at the amount of steering required, and let's remind everybody at home that this is iRacing. Yes, this is this online simulation, but somebody actually has to be, yanking the steering wheel at home to make this happen as well. So these drivers are really having to work it around this track.
Not just that, but the constant shifting, throttle, brake, the whole 9 yards. And a lot of these guys are running 1080 rotations, so these wheels are getting a massive workout here tonight. Oh, Lily Sharp goes dirt tracking in that 19.
There's nothing quite. Oh no!
Oh, Rudy, we were just talking about you, good brother. What is going on?
I was just gonna say, there's nothing like watching the driver in front of you go off track to really make your stomach come up into your throat for a minute. Kind of shake your rhythm.
Yeah, well, that rhythm just got shook by the one, and I think that's a little bit of the commentator's curse striking. As we're focused up here with John Hagan sitting P5 after his early spin. Again, able to rebound. I think after that spin, he was actually starting to conserve tire a little bit, and as we're getting ready to come up to about 6 to go before the next stage break, he's looking relatively smooth out there right now.
Yeah, this group of cars right here actually looks pretty calm and steady. Well, just as I say it, he's off track.
We need to shut up. We can't keep doing this to everybody. Susie, Gaiman, and Hagan here, 3, 4, 5. As it looks like we've got another one going off dirt track, and in the 4 once again. Ooh. Bounces it over the curbs. Oh, Zach, brother. It's going to be one of those nights. The way he's bouncing around in that car, he's going to be wondering if mayonnaise is an instrument before much longer.
It is not, unfortunately.
Is mayonnaise an instrument, Squidward? No, Patrick.
We do don't look now, but it's actually we're completing the third of the way of this race here, so the race is already as well counting down pretty quickly from here.
Yeah, and that's the thing is this is one of the quicker road course races for these guys. I was checking up some of the stats on that. it's on average right around an hour 30-ish time-wise. So to already be a third of the way in is not surprising here. As Rudy, once again, after getting those tires cleaned off, picked up those positions he lost, and now is looking to try to get back around Lily Sharp once again, try to crack back into the top 10. We got a battle of teammates here.
I would say it's almost hard to believe that these drivers have been out here already for half an hour.
Yeah, Eli Sosik making the move on Jonathan Adams. Switch those boys around. Eli goes up to 11th. Jonathan drops down to 12th.
Teammates.
Yeah. Rule 1 of having a teammate: don't wreck each other. We've seen that too often in the actual sport as it is.
Are you kidding me? I've done that here in HTL. Oh, you see Rudy trying to make his way back around. Lily Sharp just trying to make us up with those positions, but Lily gonna fight hard, slides around on the inside there, and that will put, I almost said Dustin, typical driver the one, but Rudy gonna have to just settle right back in and wait for another opportunity to try to get past Lily.
Yeah, he had to check up a little bit. Still jacked the rear end up on that 19 a little, but he's gonna get a huge run here coming off the final corner, and it's going to be another setup to go down into turn 1 to get past her. I mean, look at the closing distance right there. Ow! Up close and personal with that Dark Horse Mustang. As Zach in the Ford decides to pull over, just getting out of everybody's way. And you get to see it right there. We were talking about the curbs a minute ago. There's really nothing you can rest your tire on. So you really have to be careful, jumping over these curves. They remind me a lot of what you would see in the V8 Supercar series in a way. Lily right now holding off Eli Sosik in the 9 as Rudy ends up picking up 9th from her. Look how, again, you were just talking about it a minute ago, Angel. Look how much wheel is being used through this track.
That's incredible. It is so much. My arms are tired almost just watching her do it.
Yeah, and this is why I think that's the other reason you don't see, even in the officials, monstrous car counts unless it's literally a league event, is people are not a fan of wearing themselves out on a road course. As it looks like we've got another victim of getting on the throttle just a little bit too soon and having themselves a little tank slapper. The 99 going around.
And that is the same exact spot as you saw the 4 going around earlier.
Yeah. Ooh. That last little jump kind of hurt.
Yeah, almost got stuck on the concrete barrier there. Oh, no.
Yeah, that would have been a problem. Oh, Lily goes around. That's, oh. The 74. Oh. Jeremy Briault just caught the front end of that car.
That's a meatball flag for Jeremy.
Yeah, that's got to be, because that was left front.
And you can hear where he's not on throttle. You can hear he was, turning it, but you can't just slam on the brakes. It's just there's no grip to do so.
No, and if you slam on the brakes with these things, as big as the rotors are with these cars, you're just instantly locking up the tires. So unfortunately, you really have to be more defensive in trying to avoid wrecks than anything else, as the 29 goes flying way out of the way of the leaders. And the 81 goes wide. We have got almost everybody flying off track now.
I think that was some rubberneck in there. You see a car getting air going off a jump, you kind of lose your focus.
So I was wondering if some of the oil came back.
It could have been. That 26 was really flying.
Yeah, the way that 29 got crossed up and ended up jumping some curb. Or you're wondering if maybe they left something on track and everyone else was driving through it. And Rudy is just slowly picking up positions, methodically.
Yeah, up to ninth. Again, I'm curious to see, is that going to be close enough for that 2.5 seconds of fuel to get him back to the front?
Well, he cut the field in half since the restart roughly 10 laps ago. So I think it's going to be, considering also he's going to be pitting, right at the end of pit road. He's up to 8th now. It might actually be the difference, as we've got somebody else going flying off the track here in front of us. Oh, let's see who that is here.
Denny.
My buddy Al.
Oh, Al.
He likes this track. He's raced here before with the 87s, so I can only imagine that the 87s might have been easier than these tonight.
Yeah, I think it would have been a little easier with the 87s here. I mean, a lot more off-throttle time, and then, granted, the 87 brake package is, well, old, but still. Oh, someone else dipping off. Oh, getting a little bit close for comfort there. Oh, let's take a look. Oh, boys, you got to play friendly here.
Both of them getting sideways.
Yeah. It's just the nature of this track. The 25 there, that's the boss man around here. That's Blake Henderson and Steven Oberstadt playing a little bit close for comfort. And you got Patrick there in the 60 hanging out with them as well. That's the one thing about Blake's car I have a hard time with, is the fact that it's two different colors on both sides. So it's kind of hard to pick up the car a little bit.
It doesn't want to make it too easy for you.
No, but that's kind of the fun, is being tested even up here in the booth. I just got to get stronger binoculars.
If it's Blake and he wants to make someone's life difficult, I wouldn't be surprised. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Blake's going to hear this later and RKO both of us.
I think you guys have seen, well, as a matter of fact, if anybody and everybody looks at the our SRM website, which I hope everybody has bookmarked somehow, but go ahead and check out the SRM website. That old number 90 that you see in front of the Patagonia there at Indianapolis, that's a Blake Henderson designed paint scheme for SRM, actually.
Yo, that's actually a really solid looking piece. And believe it or not, since we're talking about doing a lot of stuff dealing with social media, as the caution comes out for the stage break, as it turns out, yours truly here is going to be handling some of the media stuff on the Facebook page.
We'll be excited for that.
Keep an eye out for some musings through the sim racing season and the real racing seasons, because trust me, the dog has got a lot on his mind. As lap 26 is in the books, your top 10 for the stage break: Tucker Saylor, Caitlin Height, Mark Kissenweather, John Hagan comes up to P4, Josh Susi in P5, Josh Gaiman, Elias Flores. I'm having one of those nights. I had a Frosty earlier. Yeah, first time ever having a Wendy's Frosty.
First time?
Yes, sir.
Let's circle back to that.
What? Yeah, we're gonna have to come back to that. Somebody.
We'll circle back to that after the break. Rudy Valentine, Seth Wansing, and Eli Sosik are the top 10. Let's circle back for me having a Frosty for the first time after this next commercial break. How about that?
I like that idea. We'll be right back, everybody.
as we're getting ready for pit stops here for the second stage, yes, I know. Out of all the things to bring up before a commercial break, this is the first time I ever had a Frosty.
I guess my question is, what kept you away for so long?
I'm just not that big on Frosties. I've never really been that big on, ice cream from a fast food place. So,
That's
this is the
that's fair.
first time.
But you've been to Wendy's.
Yes, I've been to Wendy's.
Okay, so you've been in the realm of the Frosty all along.
Yes, I have. It's just first time actually having one.
Granted, they give me the number one choice, and it's probably gonna be like a ice cream wise, with like a milkshake or anything for fast food. It's, Hardee's does a dang good job. If you got one close to you, man, they got some darn good ones.
Yeah, just make sure you avoid McDonald's because their machines never work.
Oh yeah. Now, how did you enjoy your Frosty? Is it a spoon, a straw? Were you dipping fries?
It was just a spoon.
Okay.
Dipping
As
fries
most of-
should be the next goal for sure.
Right. You don't want to
Yeah,
do that your first time around. It's a little too much to take in.
Yeah, as we've got the wholesale pit stops, as it looks like the only one who did not pit, and are we sure about this? Blake Henderson in the 25 is the only one to have not pitted. Oh boy.
Well, let's see here. The pit lap. He pit what?
Lap 11.
11. So odds are he can go another, let's say,
10-ish.
10 more laps. That puts us 37, 20. I mean, that puts him in the range, to pit. He's only got to pit one more time if he can, push it that far. It's not a bad idea, essentially.
Yeah, and it also looks like he's on the same set of tires as well, because when he was in on lap 11, he was only in for 4 seconds.
Actually, I wonder, lap 20 is... Because this is we're just about the halfway point here.
Next lap will be halfway.
Yeah, man. Is he staying out because he wants to pit here and try to push it on fuel? I mean, because we talked about 27, and we talked about some drivers saying if you try to get to 28, you might be running out somewhere in lap 27. And if everybody's got to pit one more time, that could really work out for him. Maybe not, again, a race victory, but for somebody who's running back there in a 20-something, this could be a good boost for that.
Yeah, definitely. And, unfortunately, with some of the runs Blake has had this season, he needs to have a points day here today. This could be his way of doing it.
Yeah, he's had not a great season for his terms. I want to circle quickly just to our YouTube chat. Thank you, Dustin, for joining us. Our usual driver of the number one. His comments are funny. Rudy showing what the one team is capable of, unlike the weekly driver of that car. As if the weekly driver of that car doesn't have 7 victories in HTL, and is a consistent top runner. One would say so. Dustin, we're missing you though. Happy to have, of course, Rudy back here racing, and we look forward to having you back hopefully here next week. I think are we at Phoenix next week or at Richmond?
Let me take a look here at the schedule. Now you've got me a little on the curious side myself.
Oh no, it's Texas, I think.
Ooh.
Right? Is it Texas?
Well, hang on a second. I will be able to tell you momentarily that schedule. Yes, it's Texas next week. It's Texas, Richmond, and then the Roval.
Shut up! I love it. That's after I left. Exactly. That's why it worked out.
Exactly.
After the talent that showed up, it's become very talented. I mean that is for sure. I'll have that reminder.
As we got the pace car doubling everybody up, the top 10 has been shook up a little bit. It's going to be Blake Henderson leading everybody down to the green flag with Rudy Valentine, Tucker Saylor, Caitlin Height, Mark Kissenweather, John Hagan, Josh Gaiman, Josh Susi, Hey, we got so many J's in here. I feel like I'm playing with a deck of cards. Seth Wansing and Elias Flores, your top 10.
Reminded me of the race yesterday. We had, like, I think it was all B's up front. It was, you know, Bell, Byron, Bush.
Yeah.
They were all running across the top of the board there. Just how it works out. But my biggest question is going to be for Blake as well. Is, I guess, you know, you mentioned the fact that he's on the same set of tires still. Is he just going to pit right here, or is he just going to go a couple more laps to be able to make it? I mean, and everybody else on here, I assume that nobody's going to be able to make it because nobody came really back down to top off.
It's going to be close. I mean, you can save, you know, a second or two of fuel a lap, depending on what you're able to do with the car. I mean, if we see everyone running in the 120, 121 range, they're saving fuel. If we see people in the 118 range, like what they've been doing all race, no, they ain't saving. So we're going to have to keep an eye on the lap times to figure out who's doing what here tonight.
Yeah, this fuel window is going to keep us guessing. A couple notes on that caution. Matthew Boone in the 28 was the lucky dog, and Dale Markowski in the 83 took a wave around. He stayed out to get one of his 2 laps back.
Going back there on what you said, Lake, about the deck of cards, Dustin said all those jokers and jacks and this league. So
Yeah, and right now we're going to find out who the ace of the road courses are going to be. So there you go.
his goal for the season is to have earn the opportunity to talk to us jokers post race. So
Who you calling a joker, boy?
hey, we get to have the fun up here.
Yeah, true.
Well, hey, that's right. Yeah, Dustin said, hey, who goes this long without having a Frosty? Take us away, Lake.
Man, shut up. Blake Henderson's going to be leading him down with the pole sitter. Valentine on his outside. The green flag is going to be back up in the air. You see it right there at the bottom of your screen. Thanks for tuning in, whether it's been on YouTube, on your phones, on your computers, even on your big screen TV. The green flag is back out. We're back racing at Willow Springs. And the one just sent it.
I was peeking at his pit stop. It was only 8 seconds, so he saved more than, you know, just 2 or 3 seconds there, which makes me think either he didn't take any tires or he took 2.
Yeah, 8 seconds on pit road. Normally it's what, about 14 for 4 in a full tank. Whoa! Hagen goes around.
Pretty quick recovery.
Yeah, second time for Hagen. It looks like the 91 just went off. Cold tires are bugging everybody. Now, I don't know if the 91 reached that hill or not, but if he didn't, he got lucky.
Yeah, I was just going to mention cold tires for everyone that changed them, but you know who didn't is Rudy out in front. Now with almost a 2-second gap with those warm tires.
As we just saw somebody else shoot dead left. We got another one in the back going around. Oh, we got another one off. 3 wide action. Yeah, boy.
Gonna have to look that one up in the dictionary, Shane. What a boy.
Hey, buddy.
I guess it's the SRM dictionary. We'll use that.
Yeah, we'll print that one out for everybody later.
Cochran, if you don't realize, you know, my English is not very good looking either here, so we've had to use an SRM dictionary for a lot of people, for a lot of these broadcasts.
Hey, just remember, we got somebody else coming off track here. Everybody's sliding around here tonight. Just remember, Angel, I think you were there when I actually gave the green flag in a race in French.
That is correct. We were racing at Montreal.
Mosport. No, it was Mosport.
Mosport?
It was a truck series at Mosport.
That's what it was. There you go. I raced at Montreal recently. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, this lap has already given us more twists and turns than a John Cena heel turn.
Oh, too soon.
I know, right? That actually cost me a camp chair Saturday night, just so you know. That and Seth Rollins looking like the love child between Emperor Zurg and doggone Ursula. Meanwhile, as we're getting back through the field here, John Hagan's got a lot of positions to make up after his spin. Again, getting away with it because he didn't get the car beached on the curb. But now you got to wonder, as it looks like Willie Sharp's locking up again. You got to wonder how hurt those tires are.
Yeah, with no more stages to kind of bring you back together, every turn counts from here to the end.
Yeah, it does. As Valentine's picked up a 2.2 second lead. Blake goes way wide. Josh in the 33 follows him. Both of them lucky to keep the car straight.
One of the things I love about this track is that they have some really good nicknames for the turns. The cars just came through Castrol Corner. This big right-hander is the Rabbit's Ear. I bet a couple of drivers wish they had one of those tonight with some of the bad luck they're having.
Be better to have a rabbit's foot. Rabbit's ear will get you the antenna.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
Rabbit ears are the antenna you used to have on top of the TV to pick up the local coverage.
And as they climb the hill, they come around the Budweiser balcony. I think that's where I'd like to be.
I think we already got a few people out there already. I think we've got about 7 or 8 drivers who are already sitting at the balcony watching, saying, I'm glad I'm not doing this anymore tonight.
And this portion of the track is Monroe Ridge and the Wings Leg before they enter into this big sweeping right-hander, just known as the sweeper. And then in full originality, the final right hand is just called turn 9.
As we were talking off air, that whole 8-9 complex in a way reminds me of a bit of a deformed turn 9 at Riverside. I mean, that's the vibe I get from this track with the way it's kind of built. Is it's a malformed but very technical Riverside. You just don't have the speed you would if you drove Riverside, especially getting into turn 9. The blimp is being busy tonight.
Too much
Looks like-
action to watch.
Although
Yeah,
I
looks
think
like
this would be
Willie's-
a great time for our turn it up session. How about that? 24 to go now.
Well, it sounds like to me, get the volume buttons ready, ladies and gentlemen, and let's crank it up.
started up session where you just see the beautiful sounds of these V8s just roaring as it crosses. The tires screeching, and well, you see them up and over some of those rubber strips, whatever they do have up.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a melodic sound that these cars produce, for road course racing, and it's something that you would have to be there either in the car or at the track to be watching.
Yeah, some beautiful views as well from those wide shots, seeing the mountains off in the distance. Beautiful course.
I like Dustin said.
Yeah.
Dustin said he's watching his driver from the balcony himself as well.
Yeah, must be having a couple of cold brewskis up there, as it looks like his driver's got about a 1.3 second lead on Kissenweather in the 12 here with just under 22 laps to go.
We do have somebody rooting on Kissenweather as well, but and I'd like Cochran mentioned, just the views of the mountains. This is just a beautiful view that you can see all the way across. I love seeing mountains in the background. That's one thing about iRacing that you got to give credit. They do a great job of getting a lot of the scenery in the background. And if you know what the tracks, and if you know the actually haven't been around, you know how
Kissenweather's
pretty
going off
accurate
dirt
as it is. You're right. And wow, there goes your second place driver, Kissenweather. Oh, and there goes as well the 9, I think, Eli Sasek off.
Yep. But the one thing, as you were saying, not to interrupt the point, there goes the boss man, Blake Henderson, going off dirt tracking. The views that you can get at these tracks, especially here at Willow Springs or like over at Suzuka, are just unbelievable. But as the front changes again, Rudy now has a 3.5 second gap, and he's definitely saving fuel because he's right around a 119. He's bordering that right now, and Tucker Saylor's currently sitting at a 119.42. So I think both of those guys are saving fuel to the point where they know they can go the distance and then start to throw down here towards the end of this race.
Yeah, one thing to note, there is no incident limit. There is no drive-through or DQ penalty for going off track too many times. So the only thing you're losing is time, as we've seen just about everybody get off track tonight.
Yeah, the only consequences of going off track are your tire's going to pick up that debris and then deposit it sitting on the track and possibly ruin someone else's day.
I gotta throw that banana peel out there to get Yoshi on the next lap for sure.
Pop. This is what happens when you hang out with an old school gamer. I know too much.
I just think this is what happens when you get two color commentators in the booth. It's all jokes. But we're having a great time tonight.
Tip your waitress, try to feel. We're here. Caitlin Height, 13-time winner here in the HTL Cup Series from Boston. Just about a 6-hour drive from me up here in Maine. I'm telling you, after winning Daytona, she's been on a little bit of a snide recently. This could be her way to slowly get back into things. She finished second at Road America. This could be the chance to start picking things back up again. And here's the thing. Look how smooth she is with this car compared to some of the other drivers. She's not trying to force this car to do what it doesn't want to do.
You can see how much she gained there in the middle of the turn 9. Putting the pressure on the 95.
Yeah, that Hertz 3 Camaro is definitely starting to dial it up a little bit more now as we're under 20 to go. You can see Saylor in that 95 kicking the back end out a little bit, heating those rear tires up. Can't keep doing that for too much longer before they start really getting aggravated. And you can see Caitlin just eating that gap up.
Do you believe that Blake Henderson came down pit road on that lap? He's back in 23rd now.
Yes, he did. He was in for about 10 seconds, which tells me he took on, I think, probably right sides and enough fuel to get to the end. So he's going to be good to go the distance. It's just a matter of, is anyone else going to be good to go?
Yeah, he's got a lot of clean, open air in front of him. That'll help his lap times while everybody else is racing against each other.
Yeah, right now, Rudy's been checking out on the field, sitting at 4.2 seconds on Tucker in the 95, with Caitlin another half a second behind. So Rudy right now can just set pace, relax a little bit, and just log laps, while everyone else has to be around people. As we're sitting with the 91 of Jonathan Adams here, sitting 17th, and I think he had himself a little bit of an excursion or coming up here on Lily Sharp in the 19, got a little curb hop, and at least he didn't end up out in the tumbleweeds next to Harrison Ford. And it looks like the 42 had a little bit of a problem as well.
Whoa!
Blake
hanging on
hustling
to
that.
it.
Yeah, Blake's hustling that 25 tonight. But I think the 42 had himself a little bit of an issue as well.
Oh,
Yep,
just got
a little bit offline, went wide on one, and shot him back the other way in the other, and around he goes.
Yeah, these Cup cars, more so than the Xfinity or even the previous Cup cars, they're hard to save once you get overcorrecting like that, and more often than not, you're gonna get it turned around.
Yeah, it's the rack and pinion steering on these cars. It's a lot quicker. You only get one really good shot to save the car anytime it goes sideways. And even then, you've got to be real quick. Back on board with Mark Kissenweather, currently sitting second in points from Hazleton, PA. Looking at the back end of that W33 of last week's winner, Josh Gaiman. And, you know, it doesn't surprise me to see these guys hanging around the top five. They were both, you know, hanging top five at Road America. So, you know, it's a solid points day for both of these guys. And right now, Mark is looking up in his mirror trying to figure out where Hagan is. Hagan's only 4 positions back of these guys. So, 4 positions might not mean a lot on a road course, but at the end of the day, it could be massive.
Sorry, just what Justin was letting us know. So the original Kern County Raceway was on the same property as Willow. So he spent many nights racing legends back in the 90s.
Oh. I wonder what caused Kern to move. I mean, it'd be great to have this as kind of like a backdrop.
Well,
as Kissenweather sends it in.
Kern County actually just recently absorbed another track.
I think they might have, because I know Kern's got the regular paved track, and I know it's got the dirt track.
I think, is it Button Willow is also in Kern County?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was
as Kissenweather's knocking on the rear bumper here of the 33.
Has been trying to for a little while now to make something happen. 16 to go though. This race is just about over already for some of these drivers. They may not even realize how quickly it's coming.
Yeah, as clean as this race has been, I mean, we've only had the 2 stage break cautions. We've had guys and gals sliding off all over the place, but we haven't had that huge wreck yet. And that's the big thing. So, you know, it's been a relatively clean race.
So much
Our leaders will be catching some lap traffic here in the next couple laps.
Yeah.
Another opportunity for some calamity.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be closing in on Lily Sharp. Blake Henderson and David Wright are the ones that are going to be hanging out here basically in front of everybody. So they'll be catching up to them before too much longer. as Rudy Valentine here sitting Hamilton, New Jersey, two-time road course winner here at the HTL Series. I seriously feel old. I'm 38 years old, and these young kids are the ones whooping everybody right now. I'm seriously the mayor of the garages around here. I'm like Jeff Burton.
I think they just get more practice time, right? We got to mow the grass. We got to buy the groceries. We got to go to work.
We got the kids to deal with. We got everything going on, man. It's definitely a young person's game these days. It's definitely showing. Justin Weather once again trying to make some big moves here on last week's winner, but it doesn't seem to stick. As here comes Hagan looking on the inside of that 24, and he just absolutely shoots it up the inside. You gotta wonder if Wansing in the 24 knew he was coming and just kind of pulled over and said, "Take it."
Sure didn't put up too much of a fight.
No, he definitely didn't. That Busch Light 24 just kind of hanging around. I mean, this is another good run for him, though. Top 10 on road courses. He's able to get it in there. It's a matter of keeping it there. And he's been able to do that the majority of the night tonight. So, you know, good run on that 24 car. We got ourselves another battle brewing here with a 38. Ross Baxter and Matthew Boone, 18 and 19th in the standings right now.
Yeah, Boone has made the most of that lucky dog. He's up 5 or 6 positions from the last stage break.
Yeah, there's the 28 car. So apparently Boone was passing lap traffic. Boone, 42. Okay, so there's our old guy around here. Rhinelander, Wisconsin. I think that's just a little ways outside of Green Bay. That's who the 38 was going around. Alfred Denny, 3 times he's been in the playoffs. 39 years old out of Milwaukee. The Brewers are actually looking relatively decent this year. Yes, I have to keep a track on all the sports teams because I got the show in the morning, and I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm covering everybody.
Alfred Denny also has the most HTL Cup Series starts at 102 without a win. Because he's been around since season 1.
Yeah, unfortunately, that 21 car has just been all over the place tonight, and I think he'll just be happy to load it up on the hauler without needing to get any spare pieces.
Yeah, I think at this point, for a lot of the field, just finishing on the lead lap will feel like a victory. We started with 32 drivers on course, just 24 still racing out there, and only 22 on that lead lap. Make that 21 as David Wright goes a lap down.
Elon, North Carolina, 52 years old, series rookie, which explains the yellow stripes on the back bumper. Again, probably just be glad to get out of here without needing to, you know, load up the crash cart, because it's just been a rough one for him as well. And probably looking more forward to Texas than anything else right about now.
You know, I always forget to think about, but I gotta ask him after this race. If there's a chance that we raced together years ago in the league, because it sounds very familiar, David Wright, but he's number 12 on iRacing, so it may have been one of the other 11. Who knows?
Yeah, that's why when it comes down to things, I always make sure I have the number of my ride stamped on it so people remember, because as often as the number changes in iRacing, depending on your ranking in the officials, you know, people aren't going to remember, hey, didn't I run with you here, here, and here? No, that was somebody else, dude. You know my car.
I did race against somebody who, Bill Sleep, he would change his number every year to match with his age. So, you know, he was in the 60s, you know, moving up through there.
Yeah, I tend to keep things relatively similar. I mean, there's maybe 3 or 4 numbers I'll rotate, but for the most part, there's a big old 3 stamped on the side of my hot rods. my dad was an Earnhardt fan, and he's kind of the reason I got into NASCAR. And he's been gone 3 years, coming up on the 12th. So, to honor him and everything else, and all the championships I've actually won sporting the 3, I kind of brought it back this year.
I think it's a great point. I mean, that's what the number 90 is for me. I drive the number 90. Well, Dylan has my number 90 for the season. Put him in there, but the number 90 I use it for not a family member, but just a good friend of mine that his father or his grandfather was Junie Dunleavy, and so I figured that was a great way to have a number 90.
Get out of here! You talking about that Junie?
Yeah, old Junie from Richmond. His grandson went and gave me a bunch of not a bunch of, but a couple of things even from his personal collection. Just we ended up being friends through work, and that's how I got to know the 90. Why I got to use the number 90 as my preferred number, because it became easy. There was hardly many people use the number 90 at iRacing or in leagues, so it's easy. It's typically one that I have available when I need it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Junie Donlevy, of course, being one of the ultimate, original underdog owners of NASCAR. So to hear the story of the 90s still being around because of Junie is actually really cool as somebody who's studied NASCAR as long as I have.
Yeah, it sucks that Dylan's out of the race already. We can't jump back over to see it, but that's what that number 90 is. It's always been the number 90 for me. And typically, I actually use a throwback paint scheme that's actually matching one of the ones that Junie would have had out on track. So, and same thing here in the Cup Series. Actually, you mentioning drivers knowing people by, or just other drivers knowing you by paint schemes. A lot of the drivers here remember me from having just that bright. I had the bright Bobby Hamilton one. It was just pure, almost not quite turquoise, like that teal one.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The back when he was earlier in his truck days.
Well, this one was still from the number 90 though, when it was
dude, the Heilig Myers.
Yes.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That back when Bobby Hillin was driving it in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that was something that we that was one of my favorite pieces of this. Well, I was blabbing about that. Keelan Height did make the pass on Tucker Sawyer there to make that pass for second, and really it's a battle for second because there's like 5.5 seconds to Rudy in front of them. We questioned Rudy, but oh my goodness, Rudy has really showed us here.
Yeah, there's nothing to question with the way that one car is dialed in. That thing has been on rails. Even when it was coming up through the field on older tires, that thing was flying. And now it's checked out. I mean, there's no other question around it. Up to 6 seconds, that thing is gone.
Yeah, I think the only question now is, can he make it? Or is he going to need a splash of fuel?
Oh, the last thing he needs to have is Rusty Wallace Watkins Glen 87 happen. Oh, that would just be annoying. But it seems like he's still saving enough because he's still down in the 119.6 range, so he's even backing off a little bit more. Caitlin Height's in the 120 range, so it seems like everyone is still relatively saving to make sure they can get to the end. As we focus in here with Jonathan Adams and that 31 car behind him, David Schmiel Jr. That's a battle for 13th and 14th. Jonathan currently has a couple of tenths on him. Another big battle brewing here with Susie and Hagan. Hagan trying to pick up positions he lost from a second spin earlier in this stage. With 8 to go, I don't know if Susie's going to roll over for him like he would have earlier on. But Susie's car just has not been all that happy here tonight. Well, Hagan, if he's not going around, that 97 has been bad fast. And there he is with a huge run to the inside.
Right, trying to get out of their way and almost blocked him.
Yeah, the 42 just, saw everyone coming. 97 trying to go up and around, and the 81 just ran him straight into the dirt. And okay, that I gotta give Susie props for that one. He checked up and let him redress.
Yeah, I think I'd be afraid for what was coming back for me if I pushed someone off course like that.
Yeah, but Susie let him redress, get back in ahead of him, and they're gonna try to battle it out again.
Yeah, and having raced Susie as many times as I have, I was gonna say like that was a mistake on Susie more than anything, and that's probably why he went ahead and let him on by, because he really is not that type of racer. He's bad fast, but Susie's a very, very relaxed, calm racer. He's not gonna drive you off track like that, and not on purpose at least.
Yeah, but the way these cars are, especially with these corners, that front end on that 81 just shoves. So yeah, just letting John redress again and just go back after him. You'll see it right here on this replay. He sends it in, and the car just wiggles, and tightens up, and the 87 had nowhere to go. And the 81 just let him go back out in front, just kind of let him say, hey, look, you know what, that's on me. You were ahead. It's all you. We're back as we're looking at the 29, shipping himself off into the dirt for, sent himself around.
So close.
That's the fourth time I think the 29's had an issue tonight.
Hey, at least he didn't leave the ground on that one.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Speaking of leaving the track, somebody else decides to. And the 31's off in the dirt and took someone up with him. Looked like it was the 88 that went dirt tracking as well. And we got somebody else back there too.
Like we've been seeing all night, one car goes off, everybody loses focus and follows them right off the track.
I mean, I know there's a whole lot of monkey see, monkey do, but this is one of those where monkey do not want to do. 31 just sent it in, got it on the brakes, and kind of got that little side to side going, and all the way up to the ridge.
And there's a lot of tire tracks out there. I wonder what that's from.
I've lost track of how many have actually gone up there. Be like having a Darlington stripe counter, except this time, how many have seen the ridge?
Here, can you count from this view?
That's one of those where they need to have.
I did see there's somebody off track in the rabbit ear.
Oh well, that's surprising. Here we are through the rabbit ear. We'll probably find him somewhere.
Yeah, these ridges need to be sponsored by Ruffles. That would have been a perfect product placement.
Ooh, you're making me hungry now.
It's not half bad, yeah. The Publix is still. Oh, Publix already said o'clock.
Oh, we only got a few laps to go. Grab something to eat after we get off air. I might actually do that myself.
These drivers might want to as well, because I mean they've been out here for
hour 20.
Hour and 20, yeah. I mean this is. A lot of them have been suffering. A lot of them have been screaming over the radio, not happy. It's not fun when you're struggling out there with a race car that's just not easy and a track that you're not used to. You just gotta take it as a point of, hey, you know what? This is something that we don't get to do often, so go enjoy a Willow Springs race.
Yeah, exactly. This is one of the courses where you don't see it come up in the officials. You wouldn't normally see it come up really in anything unless you're looking for it in GT or open wheel. So to see the Cup cars here is a bit of a treat for everybody. I mean, it's different. Everyone's used to running the Roval. Everyone's used to running Coda. Everyone's used to running Sonoma, Watkins Glen, Road America. No one knows what to expect 100% with Willow Springs. As we're on board here with Elias Flores, his third season, Oakland, California. It's not that late for him out there in Oakland. It's only a little bit after 7 p.m. out there for Elias. So he's probably more well rested than most of these people.
You listen to that throttle control that he had there. That was fantastic. Just throttle
That's
quick
how you
on and off.
That's how you get through a set of S's like that, is just making it happen like that. That was beautiful.
If anything, this race is a great audition. Let's send this to NASCAR and say, hey, we need to get these Cup guys down to Willow Springs. This is a great track.
Honestly, I think that the Cup, those drivers, they put on a great show here at Willow Springs.
I'd say the first time we come out here, Gisbergen runs everybody down.
I didn't have very good luck this weekend.
No, but that was through a miscue and everything else. The funny thing is, a lot of people don't realize that the V8 cars were at that exact same configuration of track for COTA in 2013, which means Gizzy actually drove that. So he should have had the experience to get around there, but just had some bad luck in that 88 car, as we're getting ready to see the popsicle sticks go up. And John Valentin's got about, it looks like a 4-second gap back to Caitlin Height in the 3.
Caitlin's actually gained a little bit, actually, in this time frame.
Yeah, it looks like she's laid down laps that are a couple tenths quicker.
1.5, actually. Oh, my goodness. It's a couple laps ago. Wow.
Yeah, she's trying to reel them in, but I don't know if she's going to have the time to get there. The popsicle sticks are down. We got 2 to go. And Valentin's still able to check out. I think he's just managing this. If he's got anything left in the tank, he's saving it for in case Caitlin gets close enough to attack.
Yeah, for anybody keeping track at home, that's 2 Shanes in the booth, and we found a way to mention a third one.
Well, you know, it ain't a Shane party until you bring up Van Giz. As we've got a big old battle brewing here with Elias, Eli, and Josh here. The 99 Elias Flores, Eli Sosik in the 9, and Josh Susi in the 81. Trading positions left, right, and center. And you got Seth Wansing in the 24 ahead of all of them. The queue has formed up. Now, can Seth hold these guys off? No, he slides wide. He's unable to hold off Elias, or is he trying to? Oh, contact with the 2 of them. Back off the back bumper, the 24s are going through the sweep, and a white flag is out. Did we miss something? Valentine's on pit road. It's Caitlin Height in the lead.
Oh.
Rudy did not make it. Rudy did not make it.
Well, I mean, we still have a full lap. That's 2.5 miles. Who can make it?
We've got... Tucker's looking at this like, oh, hello, this is a battle, as they've got somebody here off in the front of him.
Matthew. Oh, Matthew just sends it to the left to get out of the way. Great job. That's a champion move right there. Get out of the way.
That was huge. That was huge, as we've got the battle here with Height and Sailor.
Loose.
Does Caitlin have enough? She was trying to reel in the 1. Now she's got to go defensive. Tucker is all over the back bumper. Does he send it deep in here? Trying to put the crossover move. Caitlin with a huge defensive line. That's going to put her shallow. Tucker's going to try to make this run on the inside. Try to stick. Caitlin's holding him off. Tucker trying to get the outside line. Tucker, I don't think Tucker's going to have it. Coming off a 9. The Daytona 500 winner will strike again. 3rd time winning on the road course. Caitlin Height gets it done in Willow.
What a finish. Wow.
That's phenomenal.
I mean, Willow Springs needs to get put back on the schedule. I don't know, but that was a great finish.
Yeah, and I think she just came over to the radio to say she is out of fuel. She only had that extra 1/4 mile in the tank. Just incredible.
Ooh.
Oh man, Dustin,
you have got to feel, though, for Rudy Valentine, the pole sitter, drops to 14th on the last lap, running out of fuel. You've got to feel for him.
And to say that by far this is probably the closest finish ever on a road course here in HTL. The top three widest margins of victory in HTL history have been at road courses. 49, 38, and 25 seconds have been. And this one was, well, they battled to the very end. And here comes teammate, Lady Liberty Motorsports team there with Josh Susi going to push his teammate over here where she needs to go for this one.
The largest margin of victory here, I've got the note in front of me, was 1/10 of a second back a few seasons ago. This one was 1/4 of a second.
Yeah, and for it to be a road course, you know, and Dustin, I'm sorry that it was your driver that you had to see this happen to, but oh my goodness, what a great finish there. And well, I think it's time to go ahead and bring in your race winner here, because it's gonna be a little while before she gets back around it.
Yeah, I think we got a few extra minutes here. See if we can bring Caitlin up.
I'll just vote everybody and see here. Oh, I'll call Callie instead. Okay, here we go. All right. We got
Caitlin, it's the Shane. I got the yeah. Caitlin, it's the Shanes and the Angel up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, that was exciting at the end there, wasn't it? You have Valentine running out of gas and basically giving up a was originally a 6-second lead. You trimmed it down to 4, and then all of a sudden, you're having to hold off the 95 for the win. What was going through your head that final lap?
To be honest, like, I don't know, I saw Rudy dive into the pits there. I thought he was pushing it pretty hard based on how he was going for the first, stage there. But after I passed him, I just had to focus and just make sure I get back to the pits, or not the pits, but the start-finish line without any issues. And Tucker made it tough, and it was a really good battle. I had to be defensive, but we were both clean about it. It was a really good race between the two of us.
Yeah, you gave us a final lap to remember here. You ran second at Road America. You won Daytona. You were on a little bit of a snide otherwise. Is this the start of putting the season back together for you?
Hopefully. It's just, I don't know, like, I've had some pretty good runs, but last week it was Talladega, so, anything was going to happen there. I went from, like, 1st to 31st in the matter of, like, half a straightaway or something like that. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's still a really long season up until the chase here. I know, like, Super Sub Rudy was out on track here tonight, though, and it was great to see the one car up front, even if it wasn't Dustin in the car. But it felt like season 3 again with that. But yeah, anyway.
Well, you've picked up another road course win. You're definitely turning into one of the big stars of the road courses around here. Before we let you get out of here to celebrate this win with your team, who do you got to thank that helps get it done on that 3 car here tonight?
Well, first, shout out for the HTL admins for putting everything together. You guys in the booth for putting this entire production on for everyone. All the fans watching at home. Obviously, the LLM GRD sort of teamwork here tonight, and just passing data back and forth with how we were running, how much we were supposed to save, since I ran out going through turn 1 after taking the checkered. But specific shout outs. Let's go with Callie for always giving me good paint schemes and just being a little gremlin. Rain and Zeke for watching. Maybe Rudy, or not Rudy, Ruby is watching too. Who knows? But yeah, it's great to see everyone out here.
Well, congratulations on the second win of the season. Texas is coming up next week. We'll see you there.
All right, see ya.
Oh, let's see. Who do we got coming up next? Jane, I believe this one's yours. As soon as we get him in here.
All right.
There you go.
Tucker, you got Shane's and Angel in the booth. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Man, tell us about that last lap battle. It looks like, Rudy's running away with it. He runs out of fuel, and then you've got a shot at it, but it looks like you kept it clean rather than getting into the 3 car there. Do you regret it, or you think that was the right move?
I don't regret it at all. I knew right as I saw Rudy pit, I'm like, I gotta pass Caitlin, but I gotta be clean, and I wasn't gonna like shove her off or do anything stupid. So yeah, it was a very tough battle. Coming out of turn 8, she got a little wiggly on the exit, and I'm like, oh, she's running out, so I just like mashed the gas all the way and tried to beat her to the turn, and she in fact was not out of gas. So I was wrong about that. But yeah, had a good run to the line. Very fun.
Just an amazing finish there for all of you. How close were you on fuel? Were you nervous at the end?
I made it on fuel by 0.01 or 0.6 laps. Like right as I crossed the line, it was sputtering. Very close. Super stressful.
And were you saving that whole run, or was it kind of like later in the stage that you realized you might be able to make it?
Um, I started saving about probably, I gotta look at my laps here. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. We had the calculators and the spreadsheets smoking over here in the booth, trying to figure out could people make it without going. We saw a few guys on some alternate strategies, but it seemed like just saving just enough was the way to get there.
Yeah, I started saving about 5 laps into the run because I knew Rudy was just gonna run off, and Blake kind of just slowed me up there. So I was like, "There's not really a chance of catching up." So I'm like, I have to save because I was like 1.5 laps short. So I just saved big time, and it paid off.
Well, you look strong all night. Congratulations on getting the podium here at Willow Springs. Anybody you want to give a shout out to or some thanks to?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out my friends and family for watching and supporting. See my mom in the chat. I'd like to thank Eli Sasek, John Hagen for pretty much coaching me through this HTL season. Elias Flores and Jonathan Adams and everybody at Ascent for helping me with this, and everybody in the Sim Racing Media booth for putting on this awesome broadcast.
Well, again, congrats on P2, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season. Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
All right, we'll bring in our final driver here. This will be Joshua Gaiman, another member of that Lady Liberty Motorsports Brigade. Here's Josh Gaiman.
Hey, Josh, it's the Shane's and Angel up at the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Man, everyone seemed to be having a lot of trouble here tonight, but it seemed like you were actually relatively smooth to pick up the P3 finish. How were the track conditions to you compared to what everyone else was fighting?
I really wish I had my Pro 2 truck. I'd have been a whole lot more comfortable with all the dirt on the track.
Yeah, it looked like it was a lot of slipping and sliding and everyone, kicking up all the garbage up on this place, but somehow you were able to fight through it and get through P3. How much were you saving that final stage?
Definitely a lot. It was mostly just kind of lift and coast, short shift and just be careful. I ran out going through turn 2 on the cooldown, so that kind of gives you an idea.
Yeah, we were hearing from everybody that 27 laps would be pushing it, and well, I think we got the answer of how far people are willing to push. So, next week is Texas. You got any early thoughts heading into it?
Well, it's Texas, and I think we all know how everybody feels about the new Texas. definitely.
It's not that bad in these cars, Josh. Come on.
Yeah, well, whenever 1 and 2's one lane and 3 and 4 has a fast lane, you know.
Yeah,
I like
hear
old
you.
Texas, but definitely confident to get out there, and I'm pretty sure I did decent last time we were there, so we'll see how it goes. It should be a fun race. It usually is kind of a a slugfest because just how the track races.
And the big thing is from today, you picked up some points on Hagen there in P1 overall. So not a bad night overall for you.
No, not at all. This season's been going pretty well, so I'm definitely glad to bring home another podium.
Well, before we let you celebrate that one, who do you got to thank on that 33 that gets it done for you tonight?
Yeah, shout out everybody running with Lady Liberty and just the whole Nitro Racing group here. Been doing a lot of work through multiple series and trying to get better every week, and we've had some good success so far. So hoping that continues. Shout out all the HTL admins and everyone that helped makes everything happen. It's been a lot of fun these last I guess it's been like 3 years or something like that now. And shout out to you guys for putting on this broadcast. And yeah.
All right, man. We'll celebrate this podium. We'll see you next week at Texas.
Absolutely.
All right, that was our third place finisher there in Joshua Gaiman, last week's winner at Talladega, and well, that's our finish here tonight. We'll go ahead and bring up our final results as long as it'll load for me. Here we
go. I also got them up here in front of me, Angel. Don't worry about it.
There we go.
Caitlin,
there we go. All right, sorry.
Caitlin Hike getting the job done here tonight after a thrilling last lap battle with Tucker Saylor, Josh Gaiman rounding out the podium. John Hagen, after those two spins, falling as far back into, I think it was 11th or 12th, we noticed, coming back to finish 4th, picking up a couple of points, salvaging that finish. Eli Sosik will be 5th. Josh Susi, Seth Wansing, Mark Kissenweather, Elias Flores, and Patrick Oberstadt will be your top 10. Chad Swatsworth, Jonathan Adams, Kaylee Height, Rudy Valentin, you got to feel for the man. He runs out on the last lap. I hate to say I might have jinxed that a little bit, but yeah, that was literally what happened with Rusty at Watkins Glen in 87. Rudy, buddy, I feel for you, believe me. David Schmiel Jr. will be 15th. Matthew Boone, Alfred Denny, Gary Donaldson, Ross Baxter, and Blake Henderson, the boss man around here, will wrap up your top 20 with Austin Mongold, Stephen Oberstadt, David Wright, Lily Sharp, Dale Markowski, Zachary Apperton, Jeremy Briault, Dylan McDonald, Bailey Thompson, and Carmen Sienna, your 21 through 30, with Richard Ode and Tyler Ratliff rounding out your 32-car field here at Willow Springs tonight. And holy cow, what a finish.
Yeah, I'm very impressed, very happy with this finish. I'll let you both, Shanes, send us off. But before we do, thank you, everybody, of course, for what was as he said, it was a great race. Thank you for everyone joining us in chat. Dustin here. We look forward again to seeing you back out on track. And make sure, if you haven't already, you like, share, subscribe, get those bell notifications running with us. Join us next week. That track that, hey, here most of these drivers had to buy it before they even got to race it, of course, tonight for the first time. And we had a great show. So be sure to join us next week. Shanes, go ahead and sign us off on your own, and we're all set for the evening.
Well, I know what I got to say. The floor is yours, Cochran. What you got to sign us out with tonight?
Yeah, I think this was a great first, HTL Cup race for me. Just when we thought, hey, it's over, he's got a 6-second gap. Fuel strategy comes into play here at Willow Springs, and we've got a bumper-to-bumper battle for the final lap. Just fantastic racing by everyone here at HTL. Yeah, I'm just blown away.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the plane is waiting for us. Texas next week for the HTL Cup Series, powered by Team Conti Sim Shops. With that being said, I am the Dogfather Shane Lake. For the other Shane Cochran, and Angel Santiago, who has given us the great views all night long. This has been Sim Racing Media on a Monday night. And just remember, today, tomorrow, and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. And until we meet again next week in Texas, take care.